What's good, guys? It's Sam here, and I wanted to talk about the YouTube results meeting the monetization requirements. But before I do that, make sure you press that subscribe button. And there's a little bell notification. Just gently tap that with your thumb until you get those little parentheses around that bell, and YouTube will tell you every time I post a video. With that being said, let's get into it. What are the YouTube requirements for monetization? It's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. What that means is you need 1,000 subscribers on your channel and 4,000 hours or more of watch time, just mean the total amount of hours that people watch your content over the last 12 months. So as of yesterday, I passed over 4,000 hours of watch time, and at some point in 2018 I crossed over 1,000 subscribers. I think it was around mid-year or so I crossed over that. So what that means now is I can apply for YouTube monetization. So I've been doing YouTube now since 2013, April 2013, right? So almost 6 years. And I was never consistent with it at all. I just put in a little bit here, a little bit there, and then I would stop. And then a little bit here, and then a little bit there, and then I would stop. And it would go on and off like that. And that's been that way for the last 6 years, roughly. And at the end of October of 2018, I decided that I was going to go all in. And I was having this conversation with myself, which I do often. People think I'm weird, but then I just ask myself the question, why do people think I'm weird? And then people look at me even more weird because I'm talking to myself. But anyway, I think you get the point. Where and how I want to live my life, right? Like, my job is awesome. It's super easy, and I work with some really amazing people, but I don't really want to do it. And I want to do my own thing. And I want to live where I want to live. And I want to travel when I want to travel and do what I want to do every single day. And that's what got me to actually create that vision. And so from that point, I went through, well, how much money is that going to take? And when I go through and factor it in all of the costs associated with that, it's less than $2,000 a month. So that's traveling the world, not extravagantly, but I can get an Airbnb in pretty much any city around the world for $500 to $1,000 a month. And then to get around in food, like I generally I always cook for myself. Unless I'm on vacation or something like that, I cook every single day for myself. I meal prep because I want to know what I'm consuming and I want to have certain macronutrients and micronutrients. So I cook for myself every day. So, I mean, it's not that challenging for me to live with less than $2,000. So I put together a plan. And I was like, let's shoot for 3,000 just to play it safe. And that's $100 a day. So that was the end of October, beginning of November. I decided to go all in. And from my research, I decided that I would probably, based on all the data I had looked at online, I would probably need around a million minutes watched on YouTube to get about $2,000 a month from just YouTube, because I know that at some point, right, if I'm getting $1,000, $2,000 a month from YouTube, I'll probably have one or two other sources on top of that. Also, that doesn't include, I have a rental property, and it doesn't include if I did any consulting or anything like that. So I knew that I could create that other $1,000 just from miscellaneous shit that I do, right? Which would put me at $3,000. But remember, I need less than $2,000 to live off of. So that was at the beginning of November. I started going all in and putting out tremendous amounts of content. I mean, more than 4 videos per day on average. Every single day from November 1st. Actually, it was the end of October. And today is the 26th of February 2019. So think about that. Every single day, an average of at least 4 videos per day. Over 120 videos per month on average. Like, I went all in, and there's still so much more room for me to get better. And the results have been pretty astonishing. So I wanted to touch on that really quickly, but before I do that, so at that time I decided to, well, if I need to get to 1 million minutes watched, right? What would be a reasonable amount of time for me? Like, how long do I want to stay at this job? And what do I want to do? Like, how quickly do you think I can do this? So arbitrarily, I picked the end of March 2020, which is about a year and a half, right? 72, 73 weeks or so from the beginning of November of 2018. So I modeled it out in a spreadsheet. And I knew where I was starting at, right? Because I've been doing this since 2013, just very sporadically and not consistent ever. And so the week ending of October 29th, I had 950 minutes watched, right? So less than 1,000 minutes watched for the entire week. And then I was like, I need to get to 1 million, right? So that's about 250,000 per week by the end of March 2020. So if you know anything about math, you can just create an internal rate of return. And what the internal rate of return is 7.82% on a weekly basis. So I need to grow 7.82%, roughly 8% per week, week over week for the next 72, 73 weeks to be able to get to 1 million minutes watched per month by the end of March 2020. And so I started tracking that, and every week I tracked the results. So and I'll show you some of the results right here. So for the first, this is where we started out, right? These are what's forecasted right here. This is growing at the 7.82%. That's the 250,000 minutes watched. And this is what so this is what it forecasts, this is what I hit. This is what I forecasted, this is what I hit. Not necessarily what I forecasted, this is what I need to hit in order to be able to get to my goal by the end of March in 2020. So I was growing at 25%, 54, like absolutely crazy numbers up until the end of December, right? I had some really amazing growth right there. And then it started to drop off. And so for the last month or so, I've just had pretty insignificant growth, right? Like it went from 52% to 17.5, 7.5, negative 2.5, negative 1.5, negative 1, 2, then I got 3%, and then negative 1, negative 3. So I'm at 17,000 roughly here, and that was as of the 23rd. So the growth has slowed down. However, hitting 16,899 minutes watched as of the 23rd of February still puts me on track for July 20th of 2019. So I'm hitting the goals for July 20th of 2019, and we're at the end of February. So I'm several months, 5 months ahead of schedule, roughly. And between now and then, I can grow at a much lower rate and still be on track. However, it's just a matter of time, in my opinion, and we'll see, because I'm going to track this, right? So you can come back and call me out and say you're fucking wrong. But I believe it's a matter of time, continually trying to put out this content on a daily basis and always working to provide more value through these videos. It's just a matter of time till 1 or 2 more videos go spikes, right? And you get a little bit of virality. And not necessarily where you're getting millions, right? But if my average video after 48 hours is getting 40 views, right? And you get some of them that have several hundred, right? And then you get a couple that have a few thousand. And then you get, 3 or 4 that have 10,000. And that's just how it works, right? You're not going to have all your videos that are extremely successful. So it's just a matter of time, me continually putting out content to get there. So now I wanted to show you what it actually looks like. So this is it right here, and this is a automatic application. So there, I've hit this threshold. I need 1,000 right here. I need 4,000 here. So I'm over both of those. The application process for YouTube, they say can take up to a month. On a Facebook group that I'm in, I've seen a few people do where they get the results back within like 4 or 5 days. So hopefully within 4 or 5 days to 30 days, I should have the results. Once I do, I will let you know. And because that was up there, I wanted to get into my Google AdSense to make sure that that was all set up. So I logged into my Google AdSense, which has been several years, because I used to have monetization and then I lost it when they raised the standard because I wasn't consistent putting out content, right? Like I wasn't putting in the work. So I logged into my Google AdSense account and check it out. There's $31 in there. I had no idea that $31 is in there. Now that $31 is from when I previously had my YouTube channel that was monetized. I had 2 channels that were monetized, and made $500 something. And they do a payout every $100. So that is what's left over. So it's probably $531, I'm guessing. That I made, and $31 was left over. They won't pay that out until I reach to the next $100 increment, and then it goes through as a bank transfer. Now, so what I'm doing, I have a separate bank account that I'm actually setting up for business purposes, right? Because I'm going to consider this a business, and the YouTube or the Google AdSense is going to be transferred in there. I'm going to use that as a business for tracking purposes. If you ever run a business, when you go through to do taxes, it's a million times easier if you have good data to work with for tax purposes. So I'm going to do it in there, and then all of the costs associated with everything that I do are going to be coming out of that account, which is separate from my main account. So anything that I'm spending on Instagram ads or anywhere else are going to come out of there. Also, Amazon affiliate. So I've been making money on Amazon as well. So if you want to check that out, check out the channel. I've been putting out updates on that. I should have an update on that one too, maybe by the end of the month, on the results that I've been doing with that one. So I'm going to keep you updated on this journey. So make sure you press that subscribe button and the thumbs up if you found this video interesting. And I'll take you along, you know what I mean? If you check back in every week or every day or once a month, I'm documenting the process of getting to that $2,000 from YouTube and whatever other sources that I decide or figure out how to generate that to get to $3,000 a month. And I might wait till I get to $3,000, or I might do it beforehand. But when I decide, or if I decide to leave my job. But I'm going to bring you guys along. And so if anybody has any questions, leave them down below in the comments. Also, my Instagram is in the description. So if you want to reach out and you don't want to leave it in the comments, make sure you jump over to Instagram and say what's up. So last thing here, I wanted to show you this. This is pretty humbling and amazing. I crossed over 600,000 views, which is kind of interesting because it's right around the time when I got approved, right? That's when they started. And 930,000 minutes watched. So when you do the math on the minutes watched, that's about 1 year and 3 quarters. So that means for, 3/4 9 plus 12 is 21. So for 21 months straight, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, people were watching my content. That's a way to think about it, right? So obviously that was since 2013. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I appreciate anybody who's watched any of my content and given me any of their time. That's truly amazing, and I feel very blessed to be able to put out these videos and have people watch them and find them interesting, hopefully. So anyways, make sure you press that thumbs up button. I appreciate you if you made it to this far into the video. Let me know down below in the comments, and I will make sure I also respond to all the comments. So that's as of 2/26/2019. So I plan on continuing that till there's maybe thousands of comments, and I can't get to everybody, but I will continue to respond to everybody's comments. Anyways, thank you so much. Talk to you soon.